first and only dark skinned activist. The reason why I start my videos and my lives out saying that is because there are countless people, black people on YouTube and social media that have plagiarized and ripped off my original works, ideas, platform on colorism, dark skin and light skin. But the fact remains that I am the world's first and only dark skin activist, and I am the first person to create a colorism channel on social media and the first person to bring the topic of colorism to the fore, the first person to create a platform to fight to end colorism. And that platform is called Dark Skin Activism, which I created in 1998. And I am the world's first and only dark skin activist. In fact, I own the trademark to the phrase dark skin activist, which is only right because I came up with the phrase out of my own brain. And it's only right that I, as a black woman, and black people have had things ripped off and stolen from them all the time, so I had to take control. I had to take control over my brand, which is why I trademark the name Dark Skin Activist. The website is darkskinactivist.com. Once again, darkskinactivist.com. You can go there and download a free ebook copy of my book entitled Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. I've written more books on dark skin than anybody in the world, including Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment, How to Be the Hottest Dark Skinned Chick on the Planet, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, among others. Also, I keep forgetting A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober Story. That's actually free on YouTube, and it's been on YouTube for a number of years. But I have to introduce myself this way again because black people have ripped off and stolen from me. In fact, anybody you hear on YouTube talking about light skin and dark skin and colorism, it's as a result of myself, Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark skin activist. And the reason I'm speaking on this is because I have been speaking on these issues regarding black men and dark-skinned black women for years. This is not anything new. If you have followed me for the past 10 years, you know that the reason that I started dark skin activism, one of the main reasons is to reconcile between the black man and the dark-skinned black woman. I've said that over and over. So what I'm doing is original. I've been doing this. It's not nothing new. And I need people to understand that clearly. This is in line with what I have been doing. There's a lot of people, like I said, that have copied and plagiarized. And I'm going to let this be known. Whoever's tired of hearing about it, because people say, oh, why do you have to start out like this? Well, you know what? You can click off because I'm going to say this. It's my legacy. I've always been fighting to reconcile the relationship between a black man and a dark-skinned black woman, way before this social media stuff was created. If you look at my history, you will see, and I hate to admit this because I don't like this person, but this person, along with myself, are pioneers in this black man, black woman conversation because we actually kind of started it. Myself and a man named Tommy Sotomayor. All this other stuff is new. It's new. It's not anything that's original. Okay? And I'm talking about when we're speaking about being online. Tommy Sotomayor and myself pioneered the dialogue between the black man and the black woman in a reconciliation. Even though it didn't always go so well, we pioneered it. We've been doing that. Some of y'all listening to this might not know that or realize it, but I know the history. So these new dialogues are not anything new to me because I've been doing it. I've been a dark skin activist. And my goal and objective has always been, it's just I don't get recognized for it. But I got to give myself the recognition because it's the truth. My goal has always been to reconcile the relationship between a black man and a dark skinned black woman. With that said, I'm going to move right along. And please don't come on here talking about other people because I already know people that have plagiarized and copied me and ripped me off. If you're not going to help me file a lawsuit against them and do something about it, then really there's no need to speak on it. And I say that with all due respect, because I get tired of people just talking about stuff and not taking action to rectify the situation. I'm about action. Show me through your actions, not just your words. I watched the interview with Nia Long and Jeezy. And, you know, I'm not here to bash Jeezy. I'm not here to bash him at all. You know, I'm just not. What I'm here to do is critique. I mean, he did the interview and it's out there for the public, and therefore it is subject to critique. So this is not a bash Jeezy video. This is not a bash the black man video. That's not what this video is. Also, I want to say that I thought that Nia Long did a phenomenal job of, and I don't even consider it an interview. I consider it more of a dialogue. To me, it wasn't really an interview. To me, they were dialoguing. But what I do have to call into question is why now Jeezy come back to the black dark skin. Because to me, Nia Long is dark skin. Some of y'all gonna say she brown skin. That's fine. We can all agree to disagree. To me, in my head, I see a dark skinned woman. That's what I see. Okay? That's what I see. And we all have a right to our own perceptions. I see her as a darker skinned black woman. So my first question that popped up in my head was, you know, why now Jeezy, after a tumultuous divorce, why? And I don't ask that question out of necessarily anger or malice. I ask it because I'm trying to understand why. Why now come back to the black woman? Why choose Nia Long, a dark-skinned black woman, when you have been married to a non-black woman? And from all appearances, from what I see when I watch his music videos, he does like to promote non-black women as the lead in his video. So I'm just curious and interested to understand why choose an authentically all the way black woman to have this dialogue with, to have this interview with. And I also want to say I thought it was a good thing, because in my walk with dark skin activism, I've ran across a number of black men who have been in relationships with non-black women who have came back to black. Quite simply, just to put it simply, they have came back to black. But I talked to those guys myself personally. Some of them I've actually went out to, eat with. I've actually sat down and had coffee with. And they told me why. So I know the answer to their why. Why did they come back to a black woman after being in a relationship with a non-black woman? But with Jeezy, I don't see him explaining that anywhere. I just see him doing an interview with Nia Long. And so I am curious to know why a black woman. Why not go and vent and talk to a non-black woman? Or, what was it about Nia Long in terms of her being a black woman that you felt that this is the person that I need to go dialogue with? Which, I'm happy about that, because the action of Jeezy doing a dialogue with a black woman like Nia Long is in line with the objectives of dark-skinned activism, which has always been to bring the black man back to the dark-skinned black woman in balanced numbers. Now, I can make some assumptions here, and when we make assumptions, we go into it, or I go into it knowing that my assumption could be wrong. My assumption could be wrong. But when I listened to Jeezy, he did talk about some things that happened in his life as a kid that really made me feel sad for him. So I come from this live from a place of compassion, for the child that went through the things that he went through. And I will say that I thought that him speaking to a black woman, interviewing with a black woman, to me, I think, and I could be wrong, I'm just making an assumption again here, that there is an element of therapeuticness with a black man. That's why I always say black men need to come back to their black woman, because it's therapeutic. You know, you can speak openly, and you can speak honestly, and you can be understood more because we are black. We share the black experience. And I think if I had to take an educated guess, to me, some part of Jeezy's consciousness has came to that conclusion. Okay. Nicole Unknown says, I don't feel sorry for Jeezy. Well, here's the thing, Nicole Unknown, and I understand exactly what you're saying, and I get it. I get it. Because I do feel that a lot of black men have betrayed black women by not marrying and dating us. And the ones that are successful, and trust and believe, I love black men of all socioeconomic backgrounds. I do not discriminate, but I will say the ones that are monetarily, financially successful, they are the ones that go out and marry white, biracial, mixed race, non-black women, and that's abandonment. That is the abandonment of the black dark-skinned woman. That is the abandonment of the black woman. And it's wrong. And I don't agree with it. And I'm never going to agree with it. I'm going to fight against it. And it's no hate for anybody. People always love to lie on me. You know, they love to misconstrue what I'm saying, but it's no hate for nobody. It's a love and a respect and an understanding that if black men and black women don't come together and marry each other, we are committing genocide. We are committing genocide. And it is self-hatred, plain and simple. So people need to understand, and even if they don't understand it, hey, I'm not going to sit there and worry about whether or not someone is up to speed and understanding the truth once it's been put out there. I'm just going to keep on doing the work. But there needs to be an understanding that to love yourself as a black man and a black woman, and to want your black man and your black woman to marry and create a community, that's not hating nobody. That has nothing to do with hate. That's an understanding that we as black people realize that through slavery, we have been made to be dysfunctional. Our communities have been destroyed. Our families have been destroyed. And therefore, we recognize that we have to repair. We have to reconstruct, the Reconstruction era, reparations. We have to repair and reconstruct. And that's what it's all about. It's not about, oh, I don't like this woman because she light skinned, or I don't like this person because she's whatever race. That has nothing, for me, it has absolutely nothing to do with it. Now, I do got some haters out here that are jealous and envious of me. They're angry and upset that I speak boldly and unapologetically as the dark-skinned activist. So they lie. They make up stuff. They slander. They're liars. And those people, if they continue to harass and stalk me, I will file a lawsuit against you if you keep lying on me, if you keep defaming me and slandering me, because I don't hate nobody. But I love blackness, and I want to preserve blackness. And how do we preserve blackness? We preserve, the best way to preserve blackness is to bring the black man and the black woman together. The black man, particularly, we got to restore the relationship between the black man and the dark-skinned black woman. There has to be a reckoning between the black man and the dark-skinned black woman, more than any other skin tone. Y'all got to understand that. The reckoning between the black man and the black woman, yes, that needs to happen. But the women that have been the most adversely impacted are dark-skinned black women. So that relationship we need to repair. So when I see Jeezy having a dialogue, an honest, open dialogue with a dark-skinned black woman, that to me signals repair. That to me signals reconstruction. And so I naturally it pops up in my mind because I'm the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. Will this translate into Jeezy's awareness that as a black man, I need to go reconcile with my black dark-skinned woman? I need to go reconcile with my black woman. And the reconciliation for me translate into, will Jeezy marry or date? And my focus is on marriage, so I'm going to say marry a black woman or a dark-skinned black woman. That's the question. Because where do we go from here with that type of dialogue? Are we just having a dialogue just to have a dialogue? Or does the dialogue have a purpose? Does the dialogue have a place where you're going to take what is stated and what is said to the next phase of saying, okay, I pulled out some problems here. I spoke on some issues here, some unresolved issues. I got this off my chest. Now let me make a move towards my people, towards my black women. And he spoke about Louis Farrakhan giving him a call. You know, Louis Farrakhan is married to a dark-skinned black woman. Okay. Some people got their issues with Louis Farrakhan and whatnot. I get it because of Malcolm X. But when we look at Louis Farrakhan, we look at Malcolm X, these men understood the importance of marrying a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman. I think they started to, as they began to become conscious and aware of what it is to rebuild and repair blackness, they understood how important it was to marry a dark black woman. Whether or not they say it out their mouth, I'm going off of their actions. And folks, we got to go off of people's actions. Not what comes out of your mouth. What are you going to do? What action are you going to take? So, you know, that's, I thought it was a good start. Like I said, I thought the video, the interview, the dialogue, I thought it was an excellent dialogue. I thought that the back and forth between Nia Long and Jeezy was real, honest, transparent. Nothing fake or phony or contrived about it. And I can't stand fake and phony and contrived. I can't stand it. And by the way, somebody wanted me to watch speaking of fake, phony, and contrived, somebody had me watching the Soul Train Awards with it, and I did not like Keke Palmer as the host. She's doing too much, and it just didn't come across as authentic to me. I did not like it. Let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say about Don King, and yes, may he rest in peace. I know that he was not married to a black woman. One thing about Don King, that man just reeked of authenticity, and I like that. I don't like when somebody try to, overly do it. Just let it flow. Let it flow. And that's the thing I appreciated most about the interview is it flowed. It wasn't forced. The man was actually speaking his heart. And when I heard him speak about his experience in childhood, just so you know, Nicole, I know, that's the reason why the sympathy and the compassion, that's where it came in. Understanding. But I do understand where you're coming from, Nicole. I know. I get it. But when I hear somebody talk about their childhood and if they've experienced trauma, that does draw compassion out of me. And that's for people that I don't even like. If folks I don't gotta like you. But if if you've gone through some things, and I can understand that. I can understand it. It gives a better understanding into maybe why you move the way you move or why you think the way you think, etc. So, yeah. OG Green Machine says, I don't even know who Jeezy is, so you're better than you think you are. I'm here for the beautiful black woman who runs this channel. Jeezy, I will come and go. Oh, thank you, Go Green Juice. I appreciate that. Jeezy is a rapper. Jeezy is a rapper, and he's going through, to me, a kind of a very public divorce with his I think they divorced, ex-wife Jeannie Mai, who is a non-black woman, and you know, it's been very public. The divorce has been very public, and so I guess in the wake of his divorce and all those issues, he decided for whatever reason to do an interview with Nia Long. And I watched the interview, and to me, it's a sign of the black man's being awakened to the consciousness that I need my black woman. We need each other. Black men and black women need each other. Okay, you cannot have one without the other. These black men that these other races love so much, I'm sorry, but you know, you wouldn't have those handsome black men that y'all love so much if they didn't come out of a black woman. They came from a black woman. So we're not going to just get around the fact that black men and black women need each other. We are each other. We are one and the same. Okay? We are one and the same. You know? So I think overall, I think that the interview or dialogue between Jeezy and Nia Long is a step in the right direction for black men and dark-skinned black women. But I'm still a bit skeptical because it remains to be seen, what is Jeezy going to do next? You sat down, you spoke with a black woman, you poured out your heart. What are you going to do next in terms of your marriage and dating life? Are you going to marry a black woman? Are you going to marry a dark-skinned black woman? I don't think I've ever seen this man with a black woman or a dark-skinned black woman. And if I'm wrong, I can always be corrected. Y'all let me know in the comments. If I'm wrong, provide me proof. But I don't think I've ever seen this man with a black woman that looks fully black, a dark-skinned black woman. And like I said, when I watch his videos, I see a lot of non-dark-skinned women in his videos. There's one video, one of his songs I really like, but I don't like the video because he's not putting black women in there. One of the videos, what's that song? The one with Neo in it. It's a really catchy song that he got with Neo in it. But that video is filled with non-black women. That's a problem for me. And Jeezy is a dark-skinned black man. So that tells me that one of your parents are dark. I don't know if it's the mom. I don't know if it's the dad, but that let me know. So how did you make this transition to where you are putting mainly non-dark women in your videos? When I saw that video, and again, I like that song so much, but when I watched the video, I was very, very, very disappointed in Jeezy. I was very, very disappointed in him. Like, how is it that all these black men, they sit up here singing and cooing and rapping and going on and on in these videos? How could you sit there and have all these non-black women and you're praising them in your videos and not have one black woman in the video? That's very disappointing to me. So that's why I'm saying, after sitting there watching Jeezy be so honest and authentic and transparent and believable as he spoke to Nia Long, and I don't know if it was Nia Long. I don't know if it was just, I'm trying to understand, well, maybe it's because it's Nia Long. And in the black community, every black man seems to think that Nia Long is the acceptable dark-skinned black beauty. She's the acceptable, but that's, black men put Nia Long, I would argue, on the same level as Halle Berry, even though to me Nia Long looks better than Halle Berry, and Halle Berry isn't black, whereas Nia Long is. But he wasn't speaking to, let's say, Alec Weck. He wasn't. Y'all know who Alec Weck is. Y'all can look her up. He wasn't speaking. Alec Weck is super dark skinned with short hair and nappy hair. So I don't know, maybe if he was dialoguing with Alec Weck, or I'm trying to think of or maybe even a Lupita Nyong'o, would he have had the same type of comfort in expressing himself in the dialogue? Because he seemed very comfortable with Nia Long. So it could have been the Nia Long effect that, black men see her as the standard of black beauty. Maybe that's it. But that's why I asked the question of, okay, he's interviewed with Nia Long. He seems comfortable with her. He seems like he was being honest and open. Okay, where do we go from it? Is Nia Long enough? Is she strong enough to change this man's trajectory from dating and marrying non-black women to black women? That's the question. That's the question. At the end of the interview, that was the chief question in my mind. And y'all, there was a lot of takeaways from that interview, that dialogue. I told y'all, I thought, put aside Nia Long being pretty in the standard of beauty for black men. That's not what I was looking at. Nia Long is an excellent interviewer. She is. She's intelligent. She's quick-witted, smart. I like Nia Long, and very direct and not with the bullshit. I like Nia Long. I like her for those qualities. Some people go around talk about, oh, she's, a diva, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I like direct, straight up people. They get my respect. The lying, phony, fake, agenda having, soft spoken, smiley, fake ass people, I don't deal too well with them. But I can look at her and tell that she was being her for real self. And you got to respect that if a person being a for real self. So I give her 100, A grade on the interview. But is that enough for Jeezy to revert back to black? Is that enough for Jeezy? Is Nia Long, dark-skinned Nia Long, the standard of beauty for black men in the black community? We all know that. Is that enough for Jeezy to convert back to black? That's the $1 million question in my mind. That's the $1 million question in my mind. Okay? Yeah, y'all. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. We got some people join us. We got a game changer in the building who's my all-time voice crush on YouTube. Imagine that, having a voice crush, listening to somebody talk and having a crush on them because of the way they talk. Well, yeah, I do got that for Game Changer. I'm not gonna lie. That's been going on ever since I heard him speak. And his voice would be considered what black people would say talking white. But I like the way Game Changer talks. Moving right along. Devon Mitchell says, I think Jeezy should just get him a Thai woman. They are submissive. They got dark skin type. Okay, but isn't that the type of woman that he just left? His woman was of Asian descent. And that's the reason why, seemingly why he divorced her, because she wasn't submissive. So I don't know. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Richard Price says, finally, you're speaking on it. Yeah, Richard, because I watched the dialogue between Nia Long and him. And I thought it was, I really don't talk about stuff if it don't touch me. I actually liked that interview. I told you, I liked the way that Nia Long came across. She was honest, direct, straightforward, no bullshit. Nothing fake, nothing phony, nothing contrived. And it just made for honest dialogue. They was just telling the truth. You could feel it. So if I'm not feeling something, I generally won't speak on it. I got to feel something in my soul in order for me to come on here and talk about something. Aaliyah Richards said, and if I were black women, I wouldn't date Jeezy if he wanted to be with Asian. Let him keep his ass over there now. And I understand exactly where you're coming from, Aaliyah, because he has betrayed black women. He has done that. He has definitely done that. OG Green Machine says, as they have been since our great ancestors' grandparents were alive, grab the blackest woman you can find and run to the hills. Agree with that 100%. Devon Mitchell says, Lupita Nyong'o got her a white man now, and she left her black, dark-skinned black man for a white man. I did not know that, Devon. I did not know that. I do not follow her. And those of y'all that listen to me, y'all know why I don't follow her, because I feel like she's plagiarized the conversations on darkism and colorism, and that was never her shtick. She just watched her or her handlers watch social media and began using colorism and light skin and dark skin as a platform when that shit was never what she was doing. So I cannot respect her for that. That's why I don't follow her. But I do understand where you're coming from. Devon Mitchell says no, Jeannie Mai was Americanized. Yeah, that's true, but she still is of Asian descent. And you said Vietnamese, not Thai. I was saying of Asian descent. But I get exactly where you're coming from. I get exactly where you're coming from. But it's going to be interesting to see, and I am going to try to pay attention to it as much as possible after I watch this dialogue between Jeezy and this dark-skinned, beautiful black woman, Nia Long. It's going to be interesting to see who he ends up dating and marrying. And I will say that after watching him and Nia Long go back and forth and seeming to me like it's some type of progress there with the black man reconciling with the dark-skinned black woman, I would be disappointed to see him not end up with a black woman or with a dark-skinned black woman. That would be very disappointing to me personally. Because what is the point? Again, what's the point of him sitting down and having this dialogue with a black woman? What is the point of? What was the point of that? He could have spoke to anybody. He could talk to anybody. But he chose Nia Long, and there's a reason for that. And you gotta realize that there's gonna be some people out there that are going to want to know, okay, well, what's next in your dating and marriage life? Who are you gonna date next? Who are you gonna marry next? Is there gonna be a reconciliation? That's the billion-dollar question for me. I want to thank y'all for taking the time to listen. If you guys want to support the channel, support dark skin activism, donate. My Cash App is $RASHIDA'Lala. Once again, that is $RASHIDA'Lala, and that's $RASHIDALALA, $RASHIDALALA. And you can find my Cash App, my GoFundMe, and my PayPal. It's all in the description to my lives. You can also go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, and scroll down and you will see my Cash App. I do prefer the Cash App over all the other methods of donation because Cash App is the fastest. So thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and donate. The world's first and only dark skin activist. I'm out.